Yeah, and like he's
Right, beginning of day 4. Today we go from Windorah through to Charleville, a distance of 484 kilometres. Today's going to be a little bit different. It'll be a little bit slower because we're going to actually ride through station country around here for about 70 kilometres, so that could be a little bit of twin track and perhaps a little bit more technical. Once again, not a lot of fuel stops. Fuel's been arranged at this particular station, Trinidad station, so we'll top up there. Alright, beginning of day 4. Yesterday afternoon we had a bike come in on the back of the support trailer. One of the riders had peaked, and what I mean by that is he was suffering a bit of exhaustion, and he decided to take the soft correction, that's the wrong terminology, and he decided to take the correct and safe option, and that was to pull the pin and stick his bike on the back of the trailer. Now today, as a result of that, he's just taken the blacktop, the bitumen, all the way through to Charleville rather than follow the route that the rest of us are doing, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a sensible thing to do. I think part of the problem is guys, they may lead a sedentary lifestyle. They want to go for one of these adventures, and that's fine, but you can't expect not to do some sort of preparation. You can't hop on a bike in these sorts of temperatures out here, long days, big days, and then expect things will go smoothly. So, if you're thinking about going for one of these long rides yourself, then get yourself bike fit. That's the term I use. Spend a bit of time in the saddle and do a bit of preparation. Otherwise it could end up in disaster, and you pay a considerable sum of money to be part of these events, and that's fine. The last thing you want to do is have to bail with something that is effectively preventable. I think we're just waiting for the starter's pistol to be fired. They don't want us leaving before 7:30. There must be a few blokes who are a bit toey. We're up early, sometimes before sunrise. And once you're awake, there's not much really to do, especially if you're living in a tent. It was like a gypsy camp last night and this morning. Alright, we've been given the green light. I guess the sooner you leave, the sooner you get back. These current temperatures, the sooner you can get out of your gear, the more comfortable you're going to feel. I'm running a new rear tyre at the moment. You need to be careful with those things initially, the first couple of kilometres. They come with a wax coating to help preserve them while they're in storage. So you don't want to take corners too fast initially. I'm sure the first couple of kilometres on gravel it'll be fine. Looks like a couple of guys overshot the runway. Remind me not to follow them. This must be the point where we're expected to reform or regroup. I think they want us to enter the private property, the station property, in small groups, just to create a little less disruption. But anyway, we'll pull up, have a drink, find out what's going on. Could have picked a place in the shade, maybe. Yeah, it was just a bit of a pep talk to make sure we're a little bit respectful going through the property. Looks like we're taking some effort to access the place and of course get the fuel delivered there for us. just want us to go in small groups and just be a little bit conservative. You don't want to go burning bridges. Never know when you're going to have to want to cross them again. I'm not sure, but I guess this is the refuelling point. I guess we'll know more in a minute. Looks like blokes are queuing up for something. I doubt whether it's ice creams. The lead riders usually do a good job of signposting. The route is marked with bright orange arrows. However, if you see a bright green or a lime green coloured sticker, an exclamation mark, that indicates there's a bit of a hazard and you just need to be mindful of it. Doing a bit of a sand dance through this stuff. Doesn't look deep. It's enough to make a difference. I've just turned around. Just want to show you something. Alright, yeah. Left hand sweeper, there's no denying that. But have a look at the skid mark here. Some blokes overcooked the corner. Looks like the only thing that stopped him was that stump. I'll be curious if he's done any damage to his bike. And of course there's his wheel mark coming out down here. You know, I mean, really? Too much testosterone, I think. Blokes have got to learn to ride within their ability. Well, it may not be very clear, but I'm still on the right route according to my GPS. Oh, a bit more sand. See these holes? There's 4 of them in a row. Well, they're supposed to have spokes in them. That section we've just done, there's been a lot of sharp dips, and my guess is this bloke's come in a bit hard, and yeah, he's lost 4 spokes, so that could be game over for him. You wouldn't want to continue on with 4 spokes missing, not like that. Okay, Charleville, into day 4, destination for day 4 at least. We've covered about 480 kilometres today, another big day. primarily because of the temperatures, but also some of the conditions involved. Going through that private station country were some technical sections, a bit of deep sand which caught some guys off guard. Some blokes ended up coming off, which is a bit of a tragedy when that happens. It damages your confidence, it takes you a little while to recover. We've also done some damage to bikes. One has broken 4 spokes, so his trip could be over. It's one thing to replace the spokes, but that wheel is in the shape of an ank now, and truing a wheel can be a little bit tricky at times. And another bloke's done a rear shock, so that might not be a quick fix either. Anyway, I'm sure the blokes will do the best they can to get these things back on the road. Bikes on back of trailers is never a good sign. One of them is the one that's done the rear shock. That could be terminal on a trip like this, I think. One bloke's having his front shock replaced. They got lots of front shocks. It must be a common problem. I didn't think it was, but clearly it is. But yeah, this mechanic reckons he can have a turn around in about an hour and 15. So for that bloke, for that rider, he's still in the game.
Fuel tank off and airbox, just because the front shock bolt is on the front frame underneath the airbox. It's not that bad.
Lose one of your nuts. I just want to make sure my compressor works. I tried it a couple of days ago and I had some issues with it, so I'm just connecting it up to the battery on the bike. Just going to make sure it works before I head home, because the last thing I want is to be stuck in the middle of bumfuck nowhere with a puncture and not be able to use the compressor. So my problem is the power pack that I carry, which I carry because I want to use it to operate the compressor, but clearly there's a problem with that. So, but at least I know the compressor's fine. So if I have a puncture in the middle of nowhere, I'll be able to get myself going, I hope. All hands on deck, we've got a tropical storm rolling through.
Who ran straight on the corner today? There was lots of skid marks. My goal is to be on the gas through every turn. So I'm probably braking 20 or 30 metres earlier than you might think. Everything. I'm going to say there's going to be some spots that the soil might not be that gravelly sort of stuff. It's probably getting into a little bit more of sort of black soil, as well